I think this is the longest I've ever been alone in my entire life, which is crazy. Just got to the city. Welcome to New York! You are perched precariously atop the edge of a picture frame. Look at this hotel room, guys. I was completely taken in by an Instagram post. I do love a beautiful hotel room. Some of the rooms had bathrooms with like outdoor views, and this one doesn't have that, but it is very, very well lit. This fun old Hollywood glam mirror with the lights. This will be the perfect place for getting ready. I should give you a fit check while I'm in here because there's also this like full-length mirror on the back of the door. So here's the fit. I should close this a little bit more. I literally just got to the city. I'm going to the ballet tonight. I'm going to have dinner at La Pecora Bianca, and then I'm going to the Met to see the American Ballet Theater do their like season finale of Swan Lake. So I'm very excited about that. I was hoping to have like 2 hours to explore the neighborhood. This is on the Lower East Side, and I had like 40 minutes. Been acquired. I probably have no time to go to other shops before I need to go back to the hotel and change. But you know what? It's my trip, so I make the rules, and I think a candy store is the perfect first stop. Well, I did have time to go to one other place. There's a vintage store on the same street as my hotel called Ellen. Stunning clothes. I'm so glad I stopped in there. I could not buy anything, but it was very fun to look. Oh yeah. This angle is probably heinous, but I'm coming to you from the family service where the seats are $32.50. But it's so worth it. This is so good. I love ballet so much. Although I will say, between you and me, the woman next to me is taking it upon herself to fleece all the people around her, while at the same time, she likes to hum along to the music and make comments throughout. And I'm so tempted to say something to her. I made it back, finally. It's been a long evening. I just felt really cramped the whole day because I don't know, I picked a flight that got in like early afternoon, and then I got delayed by like almost an hour. So by the time I got here, got checked in, I barely had any time to do anything before dinner. Thankfully my dinner reservation was like at a good time, because if it had been any later I might have missed the start of the concert. And I did not anticipate it taking that long. But I went down to the subway and second guessed my train, and then I had to wait like 15 minutes for the next one. So it's all well done as well. The ballet was incredible. I just love the ballet. I saw a girl on the subway home, and she was like humming the theme to herself. I was like, "We're at the ballet," and she's like, "Yes." And she had binoculars with her, and I kind of wish I had something like that, because Like even from like the back row of the back of the highest balcony where my cheapest seat was, you could see all of the Swarovski crystals on all of the costumes just glittering and twinkling. And so I bet they were exquisite up close, but I'll go look at pictures and see them. And because I was so rushed, I didn't really get to do a proper introduction to this vlog. I'm on a solo trip, in case you couldn't tell. I'm in New York for 4 days over the weekend. I was originally gonna go in the middle of the week, and I decided to look at what I wanted to do and make sure those things were open and available in the middle of the week, and they were not. So just to maximize the amount of things I'd be able to do, I decided to come over the weekend. And I was also originally gonna go in spring. So I was gonna go in May, and as I was making plans, it was getting too close to the date and the prices of everything were going up and not coming down again. So I was like, scratch that. I'll just see when it's cheapest to go and plan further in advance. And it was cheapest in the middle of July, and I ended up getting really good prices on my flights. And I was able to stay a whole other night in like the hotel and extend my trip by a day for like the same amount of money it would have cost me in May. And to top it all off, the days in May that I was originally planning to go, I checked the weather out of curiosity when they rolled around, and it was disgustingly gloomy and cold here. So I would rather have the heat and sunshine. Like, I can handle it. I will say, it is brutally hot down on the subway. I was considering walking back out when I realized I'd have to wait that long for the next train because there's nowhere to sit. So like stand here in my heels for 15 minutes and probably like 100-degree plus heat, no breeze, just. I went to La Pecora Bianca, maybe not the most like authentically New York place, but I'd heard a lot about it and I wanted to go. The pasta was really good, like no notes. I got the lemon shrimp parmesan campanelle, I don't know, campanelle. Apparently I didn't pronounce it right because the waiter was like, oh, you mean this one? I was like, yes, I mean that one. I got the burrata too. It was like, it met my expectations, but it did not exceed them, if that makes sense. It was good. Something I would maybe recreate at home. I don't think I could recreate the same pasta at home. And then the lemon basil soda, it was tasty. It was like overpriced for what it was, but whenever I order a mocktail, I kind of expect it to be overpriced for what it is, so. Today is my first full day here. The weather is supposed to be kind of the worst about like the whole trip, but thankfully I have a lot of indoor activities planned. It's Sunday, so I'm gonna go to church this morning. Then I'm gonna go to the Met. I've never been to the Met, so I'm really excited. Always wanted to go. Like, that's always been at the top of my bucket list for New York. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this at the concert last night. The lady next to me, I did end up telling her off. She was just being so annoying. She took it upon herself to be the recording police, and she would like lean over like 3 people and down a row and like hiss multiple times like, you need to put that away, you can't be doing that. It was just like so distracting, way more distracting than he was being on his phone, and so I just felt really indignant about it. And she did it like twice during the first act, and then during the admission she like called him out directly, which was the appropriate time to do it. Like, she could have done it then and just like left it off, but he didn't stop. Like, and like, I know you're not supposed to record, but like, it wasn't an usher, it wasn't an official, like, it wasn't her place. And especially because she had her own brand of being a distraction, because she would hum along to like the excerpts and like make comments like kind of out loud, just like, oh my goodness, like, and I was just like, okay, if this is like an elderly lady, I won't bother her. But no, it was a younger woman, and so I was like, okay, if she does it again, I'm gonna say something. And sure enough, like 3/4 of the way through the performance, she does it again, and she's like really like you can't record, making a huge fuss. And she sat back, and I was like, you know, like, you're being annoying too. And she was like, I know, he has no class. And I was like, I'm talking about you. She stopped bothering him. She didn't stop humming though. She was like, I didn't want to like totally ruin the evening for her, but like, I know everyone has their own way of enjoying music and concerts, but like, just do it in your head. Inside thoughts, inside thoughts. Aside from that, the concert was incredible. It was wonderful. And I loved that everyone came dressed up. It was like the closing night of the season, like the last performance for this summer. And so I feel like everybody really turned out in their best. It was just like so fun. So I'm very much enjoying the cultural delights of the city. Let's go enjoy some more. Alright, I just went to La Capra. It was pretty highly recommended online. I love a pan Swiss. I just think the flavors and textures are so delicious. And the lamination on the top of that one was beautiful, but it was really crunchy, and I don't know how I feel about that. They were kind of like hard. And the coffee could use a little bit of sweetener in my opinion, so I think it's just a bit of a dark roast. But I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5. There's nothing really wrong with it. Decided to walk over because I still have like an hour before church. Thankfully they have a bathroom. An entire run club showed up to like get water, and some of them are getting coffee, but the place is packed with people just getting water. And somebody had to be like, you can just like go up to the front of the line and order. They are not lying when they say it's really hot on the subway. It's really, really hot on the subway. But luckily everybody else is hot, and there's a run club here, so I feel right at home. So I'm just gonna remember the brand and look for another size. We'll get a little lace skirt. So cute. I will say trying on clothes in 90-degree weather in a tent is not for the faint of heart. Okay, all right, thank you. Let's do it. How well you can see, but the flea market goes through the whole cafeteria of the school too, and it doesn't even go inside. I'm glad I stopped there. I was questioning whether it was worth walking over, but I could have spent all day there. I got a little skirt I'll show you later. It's just like the perfect little tea-length white lace trim skirt. I really wish that top had fit me, but it was just too small, so oh well. You know that feeling when you're like too hot and too tired and dehydrated, but you feel very full of liquid because you've been drinking a lot of water all day, and you're like, I don't know, you've been eating too much, but you've also been hungry because you're like walking around. That's how I feel right now. Like I just really want to sleep. That would be good. I actually have no idea how many steps I walked today. My phone probably didn't count accurately because it was in my bag, but it was definitely a lot. I feel like I need to catch you up. After church, I went back to the flea market because I wanted to look around some more. And they had these really cute watches. I mean, cute watches. They were Bulova watches. They were like old wind-up watches. Like the dainty vintage ones. I love that those are trending. And it was very tempting. I didn't just about, but I considered buying one. But I just didn't come prepared to spend that much money. You know, it was like $80 to $100 a pop. Maybe I'll look on eBay. That's more how I shop. The clothing, I did buy a skirt. I think I showed you this already. I liked the seller's stuff, but like, she was selling stuff that she had taken the tags out of and put her own stuff in, and I know that because she had this one particular dress I thought was really pretty and I felt like I'd seen before. And I took a picture of it to like see if it was like, you know, vintage, or if I could like look it up and buy it somewhere else. It was Zara. She had taken the tags out and put her own company tag in and was selling it for $60. Which, I mean, I guess it's not crazy, but Zara, like, There's so many pretty beaded bags as well. I just talked about beaded bags for my trending styles video, and now I'm like, I kind of need a beaded bag. After that, I was gonna get lunch and then go to the Met, and I was like, oh, I'll just like get something fast. I'll get a bagel. Across the street there was a Pop-It bagel, so I was like, cool, I'll try this, you know, trendy spot. I did not realize they sell bagels in packs of 3. You cannot buy 1 bagel, you have to buy 3 bagels. And like, I like bagels, but 3 bagels is a lot for 1 person, and I did not need 3 bagels. So I was like, okay, scratch this, I'll go somewhere else for lunch. And I made the mistake of walking all the way over to the edge of Central Park before looking at my map and realizing that like Central Park it's like the National Mall. It's mostly devoid of restaurants and convenience stores, and it's mainly like green space. Well, there are some like food trucks and there's a couple restaurants in the park, but there's like no convenience stores anywhere nearby, and there were no bagels. So I ended up walking all the way across Central Park. I've made it across Central Park to the Upper East Side. The Met is behind me, but I'm trying to find some lunch first. Cafe Sparsky, which I had actually really considered going there. Like, I wanted to go and like see what it was like. I think it's the new gallery. It's where Klimt's The Woman in Gold is housed. And I didn't go into the gallery. It's kind of expensive for a small gallery, and they also don't allow like video recording, so I was kind of like, well, that would be a bit of a bust if I wanted to like do it for the vlog. But they did allow filming at the cafe. The cafe was super nice. It's all Austrian cuisine, and it's designed inside to resemble an early 1900s Viennese cafe. It's really beautiful, and the food was delicious. At this point, I'm like not even gonna complain if like portions are small, because I'm one person and like I don't need that much food. It's kind of annoying when you order, you have to like spend $25 and you get a huge plate of food, and you're like, ugh, like I feel like I'm wasting this. So I got the smoked trout crepes. They were delicious. And then I got a piece of cake and an espresso. The espresso, I didn't think it was that good, but it was like really strong and it went well with the dessert. If I had realized that the Met closed at 5, I might not have tried it, but in hindsight, it was fine. It worked out fine. So then after that, I went to the Met, and by this time, I don't know how much longer my camera battery is going to last. Seems to go from full to half full and very quickly to dead. Anyway, left the bed. Wow, it's very bright, looking blown out. Maybe I'll get my sunglasses out. Anyway, I didn't realize they closed at 5 on Sunday. I thought they closed at 6, or I would have made a bigger effort to get there sooner. But I'm happy with what I got to see. I really wanted to see the John Singer Sargent portrait gallery. That was like at the top of my like want to see list. But I really didn't see much else besides that and some of the European art. I just remembered that Ralph Lauren is over here. and they should be open past 5, so maybe I'll seek refuge in the air conditioning. I need to charge my phone somewhere. I've like reached the point in the day where I'm like tired and overstimulated, and I need to like sit and charge my phone and recharge myself. I kind of wish I had gone somewhere else. Like, of course I needed to see the flagship, like 5th Avenue, or is it Madison Avenue? It's probably Madison Avenue, Ralph Lauren location, like iconic, but it was like not that much different than the one in Chicago. I also like wasn't really in the mood for a coffee. I ended up getting a sweet tea, but there was no way to charge my phone, so it ended up being a bit of a bust. You know, actually, I'm just gonna be honest, I feel miffed because when I walked up, it was not that full inside, and the guy made me wait outside so long before I went in because he was like, we don't want it to get too crowded. And then once I came in, he let in like 10 people like immediately behind me, and the place was packed, like way more than it was before he would let me in. And so then I was mad about that, if I'm being honest. And then of course I couldn't charge my phone, but I wandered around for a bit. I looked at stuff. You know, it's like a fun museum. Let's walk around in there. I asked them to charge my phone a little bit at Cafe Sabarsky, and they did, but it was still like not very charged. So by the time I left the Met, it was like basically dead. I just like stopped using it at that point because I was like, I don't want it to die completely, and then I won't be able to find where I want to go next. Didn't want to like spend all my time walking way out of the way trying to find like a drugstore that would sell a charger. So I ended up just like walking back into the park, and I sat by the little reflecting boat pool and read for a while. There was like a live musician playing. I've been reading A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. I talked about this in my Soft Girl Summer TBR vlog. So I brought this with me because I said I was going to read it in July. There's a particular... I thought it was really appropriate for being in the city. Where was that? The Colonel was a tall, drooping man, carelessly dressed, disorganized, remote, the sort of man you couldn't make any contact with, who didn't even look as though he was listening. Maybe he was a very shy man who made himself butt in on people and affairs which didn't really interest him. Jumping on the page a little bit. I never exchanged a word with the Colonel. He has no significance at all in what happened during my stay in Oxgoodby. As far as I'm concerned, he might just as well have gone around the corner and died. But that goes for most of us, doesn't it? Yes, that's my dad and mom over there on the piano top. My eldest boy is on the mantelpiece. That cushion cover was embroidered by my cousin Sarah only a month before she passed on. I go to work at 8 and come home at 5:30. When I retire, they'll give me a clock with my name engraved on the back. Now you know all about me. Go away. I've forgotten you already. And then I went to J.G. Mellon for dinner, and I was like, maybe they can charge my phone behind the counter, because sometimes places are like willing and happy to like charge your phone for you. And they didn't have, it was just like, I just had the cord with the USB-C, or the USB. I looked for my adapter at home before I left, and I couldn't find it. And I also like dropped the ball and didn't charge my charging pack. It's fully charged. It's behind me, so I'll have it tomorrow. But I counted on finding an outlet with a USB. So I got to J.G. Mellon, and then I was like, oh, do you think you could charge my phone? Like, I have the cord, but not the charger, and they weren't able to, which is fine. But thankfully, I had a book with me, so I sat drinking my Diet Coke and reading my book until the burger came, because they, like, lost my order, and then it took, like, half an hour to get my food. But he comes my drink, which was nice of him, and they gave me a matchbook. Actually, he gave me 2 matchbooks, so now I have matchbooks. They have a melon on them. Actually, this is how out of it I was. I got there, and it's called J.G. Mellon. Like, that's the name, I guess, of the guy who opened it, is what I'm guessing. It's a preppy, old-school hamburger joint / diner. It's, like, cash only. They still ring you up on a, like, actual cash register. So, like, very vibey inside. Very small, crowded, and they serve, like, diner fare, and their specialty is burgers. Where was I going with this? Oh, I went in and I was looking around, like, kind of like, you know, familiarizing myself with the space. And I'm like, do they really have, like, a lot of watermelons? And, like, oh, there's, like, cantaloupe. They really have, like, a melon thing going on in here. And I was like, wait a second. It's called J.G. Mellon. Of course they have a melon theme. But anyway, it was really cute. Once I got the food was very tasty. I don't mind not having my phone if I have something to do. I also like don't really mind eating by myself is what I'm finding. Like I don't mind it at all. I actually do know a couple of people who live here in the city, and I just wasn't counting on meeting them while I was here. They were 3 girls. They're like older than me, but 3 women who I met at the singles retreat I went to last fall, and I vlogged about that. And we like exchanged information and connected over social media. And one of them saw my story yesterday that I posted and was like, "Oh my goodness, are you in the city?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And like, "Do you want to meet up?" So we're gonna meet up and get pizza tomorrow for dinner. So I won't be like entirely alone my whole stay here. But so far, I haven't minded being alone. Like, I wasn't sure how I'd fare being by myself, like, for 4 days. I think this is the longest I've ever been alone in my entire life, which is crazy. I think it's good for me to experience this and really judge whether I enjoy being alone or not. I don't mind being alone. It's just that sometimes when you're alone, you notice that everybody else is with someone, and then you kind of wish you were with other people. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm really tired. Tomorrow, I'm going to Brooklyn, and that will be fun. I've never been to Brooklyn. Before this trip, I kind of wondered if I have Paris syndrome, but with New York, because I haven't been really crazy about the experiences I had either time I've been here before, but I think I was just staying in Midtown. That was the problem, because I really like the Lower East Side. It's a bit more hip, like lots of small businesses and like unique restaurants, and that's the kind of vibe I'm here for. All right, I am gonna head out. Here's the fit of the day. We have my yellow top, my hair scarf, and I get a coffee, and then I'm gonna walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. So the fun thing about being on TikTok is that when you go somewhere, it changes the location of what's being shown you, and so I've been getting fed lots of New York City content. And last night I was scrolling and I saw a post that was like, "This coffee shop literally just opened. It's on the Lower East Side." And I was like, okay, so I look at the location on Ludlow Street where I'm staying, and it's so cute. I actually went past it the other day and I was like, what is that? I don't know if they didn't have the signs up yet or something, but go to Cafe Paradoso and try the like salted brown butter latte. And I'm on the fence about it because it's on tap and I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's still worth a try. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but I kind of want to go in here. It's super cute. I got their Cloud Cap, which is a cold foam topped cappuccino. It's very good. Very cute vibe. Realized I'm probably going to get a sunburn. I put like sunscreen moisturizer on my neck because last time I wore this top I got like sunburn around here, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have like sunburn on my arms. Oops. I just passed a couple of guys with the L'Appartement 4F box, so I must be getting close. Also, the thing about these like French named American cafes is like, do you say bug. Do you say L'Appartement 4F or L'Appartement 4F? I never know. Okay, that was L'Appartement 4F. I got a mocha. Mocha's good, like standard but good. I got a Nutella croissant with almonds. And it is a twice baked croissant with a lot of filling. So maybe it's not surprising, but it was very greasy. And if there's anything I hate almost more than a dry croissant, it might be a greasy croissant, because at least a dry croissant, you can dip it. But a greasy croissant, it just leaves like, you know, it gets all over your fingers and has an unpleasant mouthfeel. It's difficult to judge a bakery off of one item because there's a local bakery near me that I've had greasy croissants from, as well as good croissants. So maybe I shouldn't write them off, and I'm not writing them off completely, but given that the one I tried was not my favorite, I'm going to walk down and try a second spot. I came down here to go to the Six Bells, which is a small boutique. They were actually a stockist of mine briefly. They ordered some of my Christmas wrapping paper, and they're like a very, I don't know, very stylish shop. So it's very flattering to have my products carried in there even for a short time. But they're not open till noon, so I have over an hour to kill. So I'm going to Poppy's and then I'll check out the Six Bells. To the Six Bells. I made a terrible discovery when I was at Poppy's. Somewhere between the Brooklyn Bridge and the Little Park before I lost my hair scarf. So I think I have to retrace my steps anyway to get the subway to my next stop. So maybe I'll find it, but I'm not hopeful. Again, the drinks are hitting the spot today, but the baked goods are a little disappointing. I got a peach vanilla scone. And at first I was like, wow, this is like really moist. And then as I got to the center of it, I was like, wow, this is really not baked all the way through. Retracing my steps from the bakery where I started back to the Brooklyn Bridge, but no luck, I didn't find the scar. So from there I got the subway up to Greenpoint, and I tried going to Radio Bakery, and they only had a few things left. I had seen they had sandwiches, which I guess they put out at 11, so obviously I was like a few hours too late. I kind of wish I'd gone there first because their pastries look better than anything I've seen today, but I've had way too many pastries. So I'm gonna try Rhythm Zero while I'm here. There's a location in West Village, but I think there's other coffee shops I also want to try in the West Village tomorrow. So while I'm up here, I'm gonna give it a try. They're the coffee shop that has the coconut Arrocano. Thank you. Walking out of the way to get this. I'm not a black coffee person. This is really, really good. Also, coconut water is hydrating, so it definitely cancels out the dehydrating effect of espresso, right? I'm gonna go with that. So this is such a stunning collection of fabrics, as well as all these vintage dresses. I just passed La Industrie Pizza, the Brooklyn location. That's where I'm gonna go tonight, but in the West Village with the girls I know that live here. So I'm really looking forward to that. Originally, I was actually gonna stop here. Oh, I just found another vintage shop. How cute. today. I was feeling it. I didn't really vlog last night because I was hanging out with friends. We got pizza at the Industry, and then we got ice cream, and we ended up walking from Little Island all the way up to the end of the High Line at Hudson Yards, and then over almost to the Empire State Building to get the subway home. Yesterday my phone, my health app said I had 35,000 steps, and it was in my bag the whole day, so it was probably even like way higher than that. My feet are really feeling it this morning. My flight doesn't leave until around 7 p.m. so I have most of the day to spend exploring again. I'm going to go get a bagel right now because I haven't had a bagel yet while I've been here. And then I'm gonna try a coffee shop. I tried the viral salted brown butter oat latte from Cafe Paradiso. Very good. I was kind of in doubt because it's espresso on tap, but I thought it was delicious. I would totally go back there. I'm like, I guess I'm not that much of a coffee snob apparently. Before I have to check out my hotel, I decided to come up to the rooftop to see the view, and it's amazing. I couldn't see the World Trade Center from my room because it was blocked by this tower, but like there's like a 180 view of the East River and Lower Manhattan all the way over to the Hudson. It's pretty cool. We could let it ride. Why'd you say I quit being overthinking about everything? Give it up, tell you what I wanna say right now. Cause I could do the John Hughes kind of old cliche, but either way I need to say. It's like a grown-up Capri Sun. Kinda like it. To Alabaster Bookshop, which is like a small used bookshop, and then I went to the Strand and I bought a couple of books, out of print old books. Here's the rundown on Cafe Pana. I wasn't really impressed. I think my mistake was getting soft serve instead of ice cream. It was like fine. I got the tiramisu like sundae kind of thing, and it had like a lot of texture, like texturally it was really, really good. But flavor-wise, it was really lacking. There was like no coffee in it. I would probably like try it again, get the real ice cream instead of the soft serve, but I don't know. It didn't blow me out of the water. I stopped by Le Cabra again to get a pastry for later because I regretted not trying something from Radio Bakery yesterday. So I learned my lesson and I got a hojicha. I ordered hojicha. I was expecting it to be a milky drink and it was just clear cold brew tea. It actually really hit the spot. I'm going back to the hotel right now to get my luggage and then head to the airport. Thanks for coming along with me. It was really fun going on this solo trip. I did enjoy being on my own. It was nice to spend some time with other people last night though. I do think I like New York after this trip. Before I wasn't like sure if I was really gonna like love it, but yeah, I really enjoyed coming and enjoyed having the opportunity. It's a privilege to be able to travel, and it's a privilege to have the money too, and so I feel very, very fortunate, very blessed.
Every step we take feels like an ending. Don't know how long we'll be alright. I wish time would stop so we would last forever. Cause I don't know if the last time will be tonight. I knew